In terms of bringing pressure on the government to stop this, I was thinking that, is there any way to get the different union leaders of the different unions in New Brunswick to organize a big, humongous strike all at the same time and say, we're not going back to work until this deal is off the table? Is there any way to do that? It would have worked.
I can answer that, Ron. Yeah, you know, ma'am, I'm really flattered on behalf of the 40,000 members of the New Brunswick Federation of Labor that you believe that 40,000 people can stop this deal. The fact of the matter is there's almost 400,000 ratepayers. You know, the unionized workers in this province represent less than 30% of the workers in the province, who represent a small portion of the ratepayers. The Federation of Labor and the unions involved and those who aren't affiliated are doing, as partners in the coalition, what it is that they do best. But this is not going to be stopped by one group or one particular activity. It has to be a sum total of everybody doing something. The organization, the unions take full responsibility or take responsibility for the fact that if there's one thing they can do, they can organize. But this takes more than organization. And things can be built, but people have to come. And the bottom line is that they're there organizing, and they will be there organizing. They brought the first summit together. And from that spawned a tremendous social movement in this province, and a movement that is unprecedented in the history of the province. And I believe it's unprecedented. And it's a movement that is the sum total of all the parts.
Just want to jump in that made this point to a few people that if you took the Facebook site is a Facebook site, you can take it or leave it. But in terms of the significance of the numbers, if we've heard of the Facebook site or the website against the prorogation of Parliament, which gets a lot of play in the media. Well, if that had the same numbers that the New Brunswick Facebook site had, it would be 1.3 or 1.4 million people. So it's pretty. I think it's one of the bigger quote political websites in Canada that I know of. Yeah, proportion to the population.
Wait back. Then up.
First of all, Greg, thanks a lot for your words tonight, for the presentations, and Rob, thanks for the moderator. I think it was a very well job, everybody. I can appreciate your reasons tonight for remaining apolitical in this debate, but I don't feel that's in compulsion myself. So I just thought that I would invite anybody in the room who's involved with the NDP to stand up with me if they felt the need to do that, just to prove a point that there is some people in the province that are listening, and just because our government political party is not doing that, it's not necessarily the case. There are people out there that are willing to listen to this argument.
If I can just comment, we could ask all the progressive conservatives to stand up as well, but we won't do that. Simply, and we could ask liberals as well, and there'll be liberals that would stand up, and there'll be Green Party people members that would stand up, and that just reiterates the point that it's everybody together, and there's a great opportunity for dissension among the ranks in the coalition if we start arguing about what our best solution is. The silver bullet solution, or what it is that would be the best strategy, and we've got to make sure that it's everybody's able to do their thing, and everybody's able to do their thing with integrity.
Just a brief comment first. As a St. Johner who watched the Energy Hub come and go, and I was involved in some things having to do with that, there's nothing in this deal that surprises me. Nothing at all. Hilla Knowlton was working for Irving, and isn't that right, Patty? Yeah. But there's nothing that's a surprise. There was a $100 million tax deal agreed in a midnight meeting, So I just wanted to bring that up. So what I'm interested in is then why from a point of view, say, of jobs or of protecting Irving industry, why this deal? I'd like to hear some comments. Are we really being asked to protect a dying pulp industry, pulp and paper industry? Are we here to help the margin that's shrunk so much on the refinery? Is that really what we're being asked to do? I mean, we've been subsidizing these industries since the PUB wanted to stop that, right? And they were shown the door. That was one of their recommendations, right? And then they got rid of the head of the PUB, changed their name, and off they went again. There's nothing surprising in this. What's surprising is the response.
Yes. Yeah.
But I'd like to, is that what we're being really asked to do? Yes. Once again,
no-win situation.
It's me what I've mentioned it, and I'll just reinforce some of the message that I've said. I think we need to be receptive to the dynamics of industrial sectors. Sometimes it's one sector that has difficulty for various reasons, and then you get well, and then another time it's another one. But here what we're having is you're bang on in terms of the wood industry. There's a lot of closing of pulp and paper mills in the province of Quebec. In proportion, not as much as in New Brunswick, but very high number of mill closures and loss of jobs. Therefore, the difficulty of the pulp of the wood sector in general is a lot more than electricity rates. So what we're seeing here is that we're having a kind of a bulldozer solution that we make a policy that will affect all industrial sectors, irrespective if they are profitable or not. So this being said, in the context that we need to be receptive to the dynamics of our large industries, specific programs, specific policies would be much better. That would include not only electricity rate, but the whole sector. The sector as a whole could be a lot more efficient for the large industries, and obviously for the ratepayers and also the taxpayers.
If I could add a comment or two. When you look at the anatomy of the deal, it's not surprising, I agree with you, particularly when you start peeling it back just a little bit in terms of who the players were involved. And I mentioned, the public, we're at the bottom of the scale. And then there's the MLAs and the cabinet ministers, and to a large degree, Graham himself. And I'm not trying to evoke any sympathy for him. And then at the next level were the non-elected group that included, and they'll readily admit this, Doug Tyler, John Mallory, Deputy Minister of Finance, Jim Irving, and Frank McKenna. That was the architect, the architects sitting around the table. And then when you get beyond that, and this is a public known fact, that it was Frank McKenna's law firm that drafted the first MOU. Not lawyers in government, not lawyers at MB Power. And then when you go to the next level beyond that, you get to run into companies like Brookfield Asset Management. Eve mentioned Frank is on that, McCain is on that board of directors, and also a name here in New Brunswick. You mentioned taxes. Fred Minsk from the late of the C.D. Howe Institute, who came in with the big tax reform for New Brunswick that again was serving to distinguish the classes in this province. And when you look at Brookfield Asset Management purchasing Fraser, and you look at Brookfield Asset Management's relationship with the Toronto Dominion Bank, when you look at their relationship with Hydro-Quebec, they're intertwined. So it's not surprising to me when I peel back the onion to see players and the players involved, and they're money makers. It's about money.